Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's SparkWithGeorgeToon.com. I'm back with another Monday Morning Mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? I've got a brand new coffee this morning. Hang on 1 minute. That is absolutely marvelous. I don't think we featured this on the show before. I think this is the first time I've seen this. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but boy, this is good. This is Black Rifle Coffee Company. This was the Coffee of the Month Club Christmas gift that my nephew Jason, his wife Allison, and the boys sent to me last year. Starting to wind down. The last couple of Keurig coffee cups are arriving. This one came just recently. Here it is. Tactisquatch. Boy, this is great. And check out that artwork, huh? Tactisquatch. I guess that's a cross between tactical and Sasquatch. Tactisquatch. Yeah, this is a dark roast. Boy, this is good. This has really got a nice, bold flavor. And as they write on their product page, the rumors are true. The Tactisquatch now walks among us in single-serve coffee rounds. This dark roast is a Honduras Arabica coffee offering tasting notes of blackcurrant, molasses, and orange. The locals say you can find your friendly neighborhood squatch wandering throughout the woods, out on the range, or boxed away in your pantry. Boy, this is good. And of course, these are the Keurig cups right here. Check that out. And it makes an absolutely wonderful and flavorful cup of coffee. Dark roast, a little bit on the bold side. I like that. Really, really terrific. Very, very good. Like that a lot. Now, we're using the Fall is in the Air coffee mug that Rodney Ripplinger very, very kindly sent to the channel. There's Snoopy and Woodstock with that little leaf falling, kicking off the autumn season. And we're getting to the end of autumn right now. Probably, what is that, the December 20th or 21st, somewhere in there? Winter will be starting. So it'll be goodbye to autumn and hello to winter. But yeah, we'll just use this one more time, because fall is still in the air, although all the leaves are off the trees in the area, and we are already experiencing some some colder temps and some winter weather and that sort of thing. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Rodney also sent along this coffee tip. Not that this needs it. Boy, this dark roast, this is wonderful. This does not need the following information, but we pass it along in case you run into a situation where you might want to enhance the coffee that you are brewing and tasting and savoring. Hi, Mark. Did I ever tell you, or did you already know, that if you add just a few grains of salt to your coffee, any bitterness disappears? Well, for the most part, Rodney, I didn't know this, and I went ahead and Googled it. And sure enough, this is what I found. Adding salt to coffee blocks bitter and sour receptors and enhances flavor. Even though it adds sodium, caffeine in coffee causes the body to lose sodium, so it's not really a concern. How about that? We will link that information below so you can check it out yourself. That is really, really very, very interesting. Again, this coffee does not need it. Hang on, one more sip. That is really terrific. And hey, today is Cyber Monday. Friday was Black Friday. And of course, this last Thursday was Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving? Wow, we had a terrific Thanksgiving. I got together with my brother Tom, his wife Lori, their daughters, Kelly and Bryn, and Kelly's boyfriend Anthony. We went to the Cabin at Mario's Spa restaurant in Aurora, Ohio. They had an absolutely wonderful Thanksgiving Day buffet there. It was absolutely delicious, and the place was just decorated in high Christmas style. My sister-in-law Lori shot this video of the place. It was absolutely beautiful. My thanks to Lori for very kindly sending this video along to the channel and allowing me to share it with all the viewers out there. It was really, really a terrific, terrific Thanksgiving day. So, yeah, if you are ever in Aurora, Ohio, check out the Cabin at Mario's Spa restaurant. There's like a little, it's like a little spa hotel and this restaurant called the Cabin. Really, really very, very picturesque, very quaint, and they make an absolutely fantastic Thanksgiving Day buffet. So if you are in the area and you want to try to maybe change up your Thanksgiving Day routine, check out the Cabot and Mario Spa restaurant. And again, put everyone in the Christmas mood because of all the wonderful decorations there. It's absolutely splendid. Really, really terrific. Oh my gosh. So how are you again this morning? Great to be with you. As we like to say in the show, a good hot coffee, a trusty mug. Let the caffeine go to work, gentlemen. Hang on 1 minute. This is good. One more sip. Really, really very, very good. And hey, if you're taking me along on your morning commute, thanks very much for the lift. Really do appreciate that. If you're listening to the podcast this morning, thanks very much for tuning in on those various platforms that are out there, whether they be Google, I think it's Amazon Music, I think it's Google Podcasts, YouTube Music, YouTube, iHeartRadio. Thanks very much for tuning into the podcast via any of those platforms out there. Boy, we got a great show for you this morning. We got a great viewer shaving tip. Got a couple of Shave Den visits for you this morning. We have some great refill comments. And also some really, really neat new wet shaving gear to show you and some questions and comments. So all in all, another really, really terrific, terrific show. Happy Cyber Monday. Thanks for taking some time out of your Cyber Monday shopping routine to check out today's show. Really do appreciate that. And maybe there's something here that we'll be discussing today that you might want to check out on Cyber Monday, see if it's on sale, that sort of thing. So thanks very, very much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. We'll get the show underway. We'll get the show. Well, we are getting the show. No, I say that in the second cup podcast. We'll get the show underway, but first let's pay a few bills. I'm crossing my wires here from the scripts in my head. Let's start over. Let's kick off the show. Yeah, here it is. Let's kick off the show like we do every week with a viewer morning shaving tip. Well, this morning's shaving tip comes from viewer Joseph Alessandro, and he writes, "Hi, Mark. I hope you're doing well. I have been wet shaving for about a year now, and I am loving it. I feel like a blindfold has been removed from my eyes. Before discovering wet shaving, the whole shaving process was just a chore. Now, it is one of the highlights of my day. Who knew that such a mundane task could be elevated into something so enjoyable? I have been watching your show for the last year. I found your channel when looking for a shave soap to start with. I bought Cella and Tabak after watching your video, and they are still of my two most used soaps. I even named you as my favorite YouTube shaver in this year's Lather Games. Your positivity is so uplifting." Well, Joseph, thank you very, very much for that. I am honored that you did that. Thank you so very, very much. That's great. Enjoy. Great to hear that you're enjoying your wet shaving journey. So glad to have you aboard. Yeah, thank you again for that great message. I'm sure that there are others out there trying to decide whether or not they should start the traditional wet shave. Well, you have just shown them that, yeah, it's a great way to go. Yeah, so again, enjoy that wet shaving journey. But he continues here, "I wanted to contribute a shaving tip, and I am hoping to be able to add one of your wonderful sketches to my den. I never liked clunking down my razor on the countertop. I was worried about scratching my razor or possibly even dinging the blade. So I saw this online and picked one up. It's called the Roadster and is used to hold a phone or other items on a car's dashboard. It has a no-slip bottom and is soft and rubbery. It is the perfect size for a safety razor. I just put my razor down in between passes. At the end of the shave, I dry it off. A bonus is that it can double as a stand to help display your soap for shave of the day photos. It can be bought online or at AutoZone stores. I have attached a link and it's only $6.99. Thanks, Dr. A." That is an absolutely fantastic, fantastic shaving tip. A great piece of shaving gear to have in the shave den to protect your razor. Wonderful. Thanks again. We will link it to, we'll get the link to the AutoZone store below. We'll also get a link to, I think it's online on Amazon. We'll get that link below as well. So either of those two is where you can get this really, really neat item called the Roadster. It's for cell phones. Well, as he writes here, it's called the Roadster, and it is used to hold a phone or other items on a car's dashboard, but you can also use it in your shave den to have a place for your razor, your shave soap, to protect your razor. Absolutely fantastic, fantastic shaving tip. Thank you so much, Joseph, for passing it along. And to say thank you, for you and only you, an original signed George sketch. So please email me your snail mail address to mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and I will send this to you post haste. And if you out there would like an original signed George sketch, just send me a shaving tip. Send that shaving tip to mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use that shaving tip here on the viewer morning shaving tip segment of the Monday Morning Mailbag, you too will receive an original signed George sketch. So Joseph, thanks again for a really, really terrific shaving tip. Really do appreciate it. Well, we've got a couple of shave den visits this morning, and we're going to kick things off from Jim from Northfield, James Gazda, who acquired a couple of new razors for his shave den. And he writes, "Hey, Mark, as promised, these are a couple of new additions to the shave den. The one on the left is a Gillette Goodwill razor in a fantastic case. You can identify these by the interior of the head as shown. The cap has square indentations and the base plate has the diamond shape pegs. These were made in the 1930s. They were offered free when you purchased the blade pack. The one on the left is one most will recognize, the Gillette Fat Boy. The Goodwill razor, I only paid $17 plus shipping, and the Fat Boy, I only paid $18 at an antique store. Both are in beautiful condition. The Fat Boy has a date code of D4, which is 1958, fourth quarter made, just the date I was looking for. The 1958s are more difficult to acquire due to less production. They didn't introduce the Fat Boy until the third quarter of that year. So gobble them up when you see a D on the underside. As always, right place, right time. Thanks, Jim. Jim, thanks very much for this information. I did not know. Well, maybe I knew and I forgot, but it's a great reminder regarding the Gillette Fat Boy. Started in the third quarter of 1958. So if you find something in the third quarter of 1958, fourth quarter of 1958, you've got a rare razor from what I can see here, reading in between the lines from what Jim is saying. And to get that one for $18, wow. Yeah, that's a great find. Jim, thanks so much for sharing those with us. Really do appreciate it. He also wrote this, "Hey, Mark, I don't know if I sent this photo. This was a whole lot I purchased from a seller at an antique mall. It includes all varieties of the Gillette Super Speeds, some nice Gillette Techs, a Gem Micromatic, a Valet Auto Strop, 2 Micro Touch razors in cases, a Gillette Old Type in a case, a Gillette Slim Adjustable, and the prize in the center, a 1934 twist-to-open Gillette Aristocrat. I got all this for $65. What a deal. It pays to shop around. As always, right time, right place. Thanks, Jim." Jim, I cannot remember. We may have shown this before, but it's always worth a second look to just illustrate to viewers there are some great deals out there regarding these great deals on these vintage razors. It's just amazing what you can find out there. A little bit of patience, know a little bit about what you're looking for, that sort of thing. And now we've got a little more, a little nugget of information here regarding the Gillette Fat Boy, a D4, a really, really rare one to come across. So as you say, if you find them, gobble them up. Yeah, because that's a prized Gillette Fat Boy, knowing that it was right there at the beginning of the production and they didn't make a whole lot of them. So yeah, and $18. Wow, that's fantastic. Wow. Thanks so much for sharing all those great razors with us, Jim. Really do appreciate it. Hey, we got a shave den visit here from Tim Harder. And he writes, "Mark, attached are photos of a shave setup I store at a friend's house where I go frequently. The lather mug/cup was purchased on a trip to Mexico for use as a shave mug. The mug is very roomy and has an Arco puck with some extra formed around from a partially used Arco stick. Also pictured is an Omega Bore shave brush and a vintage replated Gillette Slim. And you will also see Nivea shave balm along with an alum stick." It's always great to visit knowing a super shave is going to be possible if needed when I visit. It certainly works for me and limits what I need to carry back and forth. Hey, Tim, that's an absolutely great idea. Kind of like a secondary shave den. And maybe there are some out there who have a second home, a little summer cottage, something like that. Do you have a shave den set up there so that you don't have to carry things back and forth? Hey, please comment below and let us know. That's absolutely fantastic. Tim, thanks so much for sharing your second shave den with all the viewers out there. So again, my thanks to Jim for all the great shave gear that he shared with us this morning, and to Tim for sharing his second shave den with everyone. Gentlemen, thanks again very, very much. Well, here's your weekly reminder that the Monday Morning Mailbag is also available as a podcast. Simply get up to your favorite streaming service and search for Monday Morning Mailbag and More, Monday Morning Mailbag and More, and the Monday Morning Mailbag podcast, as well as our other podcast, Second Cup, will come right up. Both of those podcasts are available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, and now iHeartRadio. Well, what do you know? Coffee's getting low, that time of the show. Let's go back for a refill. Well, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I hope you went back for a refill. I sure did. Hang on. One more great sip of a really terrific coffee. Hang on. That is really, really good. Tacti Squatch. Yeah, from Black Rifle Coffee Company. Thanks to Jason, Allison, and the boys. Dark roast. Boy, a really, really nice, bold flavor. Like this one a lot. And again, a big thank you to Rodney Ripplinger for this wonderful Peanuts mug right here. Snoopy and Woodstock celebrating that fall is in the air. Yeah, and again, we're wrapping up. The fall season is coming to a close rather quickly. A couple more weeks and that's it. I mean, it's going to be winter before you know it. But hey, winter season is a lot of fun too. A lot of folks like to go tobogganing and skiing, cross-country skiing, a lot of outdoor activities during the winter season. Hang on, one more sip. Yeah, so we have that to look forward to. And really, when you think about it, after you're outside in the cold and snow, you get to come inside and enjoy a great cup of coffee, a great cup of hot coffee. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get to some of these refill comments. We're going to kick it off with something from Marco Batelli, who writes, "Good morning, Mark, and thank you always for the very pleasant company. I saw that you use the Preiss aftershave, but did you know that in Italy, the Preiss products are the entry level of shaving products? I did not know that. Despite this, they are very popular because they are very old and very cheap products, but still sufficiently valid. Best regards from Rome, Marco Batelli." I didn't know they were entry-level products. I love them. I consider them to be very, very good products, as I'm sure everyone else in the States and other parts of the world regard them to be very, very good, high-quality products, but they're entry-level products in Italy. Okay, well, we've got the Preiss green aftershave right here in the older bottle. We also have it in the newer bottle here. We did a review of American Vintage Soap Company's Faith shave soap last week. This is where Marco left a comment, and this has a nice spearmint forward kind of scent with some other scent notes in there. Like this one a lot, made a great lather, and we chose Preiss green because of the eucalyptus and menthol complemented that spearmint note, and it finished up very, very well. Really terrific. And Preiss, a great product line. Yeah, entry level, but that's okay. You can get some great price points on Preiss products, especially on Amazon. I think the shave soap is still at $10. And I'm not sure about this. We'll link this below on Amazon. I want to say $14. Not entirely sure. Don't quote me, but we'll link it below. You can check out the prices. And who knows? Today is Cyber Monday. They might have some of those on sale. Not saying they do. Check them out. They might. You never know. So Marco, thanks very much for that. Really do appreciate it. Bill Murphy wrote, great 3MB, Mark. Looking forward to this year's Advent calendar. Last year's was fantastic. Have a happy Thanksgiving with family and friends. Yeah, folks, the Advent calendars went on sale this past Black Friday. I hope you grabbed one. We're going to be talking about that more later on in the show, and really looking forward to the 12 Shaves of Christmas this year. So, Bill, thanks very, very much for that. Jimmy V Photography said, happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone on the channel. I'm so glad that you love that mug. He is referring to this wonderful Peanuts mug that we used last week on the program, and Jimmy V very kindly sent this to the channel. This is the Snoopy grabs the Linus security blanket mug right here, and of course you can see Linus being pulled. And the handle of the mug is the actual blanket. I can hold this a little more easily because there's no coffee in it. But yeah, this was just a delightful coffee mug. So thanks very much to Jimmy V for this. He says, I'm so glad you love that mug. It really captures the spirit of Snoopy and Linus. To this day, I can still hear the sound effect of Snoopy zipping by and snatching the blanket and Linus flying behind. So can I. That was iconic from A Charlie Brown Christmas, which is probably going to be airing here in the next, I don't know, it's probably going to be, where is it? I'm not sure where it is, but we're in the Christmas season. It'll be on television or on streaming someplace. It's just an iconic Christmas classic, Charlie Brown Christmas. And that scene of Snoopy grabbing Linus's blanket, iconic. And yes, Jimmy, I agree with you. I could still remember that when I first saw it as a kid. Yeah, and this mug is just terrific. So thank you very, very much for this mug. I'm going to set it aside right here so I don't drop it. Thanks again, Jimmy. Really do appreciate it. Michael Taylor, 2402, wrote, another superb 3MB. Thoroughly enjoyed the show, Mark. Really interesting segments as well. As per usual, great input from yourself and all the viewers, highlighting different parts of the wet shaving world. Fantastic. Well, he says here, fantastic to pick up so many different views from people and possibly add it to your own. You know what? The viewers, I say this all the time. It's true. The viewers make this channel. They are so giving and so wonderful in contributing a lot of great information regarding the traditional wet shave, their routines, their tips and tricks. Really, I mean, the viewers make this channel. So again, thank you to all the viewers out there for sending in some great information. You make the Monday Morning Mailbag, and you also make this channel. Thank you all very, very much. Let's continue here. Fantastic to pick up so many different views from people and possibly add it to your own shaving routine as well. And lastly, I love my R41 razor. It's an absolute workhorse for me. 2-pass shave normally after 3 or 4 days growth with a feather blade. 9 times out of 10, I will use it, and it's superb value for its price. Well worth purchasing for your shave den. Just be very careful when applying this razor, in particular to your face or your head. My goodness, she can do some damage if not used correctly. Cheers, Mark. All the best. Take care and happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Michael, thank you very, very much for that. The R41, we talked about it last week. Boy, this is a terrific razor. It really is. This particular R41 came courtesy of viewer John Kaczynski. John, thank you again very, very much. And again, we had this discussion about open comb razors and that sort of thing. And the R41 is considered an open comb razor, even though this open comb is kind of a different configuration than you would see on most open combs. But yeah, it has a lot of growl, and you have to be careful with it. And I used this past week for a couple of shaves. I think I did back-to-back shaves, I think. Wow. I agree with you, Michael. You have to really keep your technique in check. Absolutely. I don't think I would use this for a head shave. Maybe I have used it for a head shave. I'm going to have to check my video reviews. I can't recall. But if I did, it's probably the first and last time. This has some growl. And you're using it with a feather blade? Bravo. Wow. That's pretty amazing. But I'm sure you're getting some great shaves. Again, your mileage may vary. And, Michael's using it with a feather blade, and he's loving it. And you might use this and a feather blade might be a little too much for you. I think a feather blade in this would be too much for me. But Michael, thanks for the feedback on the Mula R41. Really, really do appreciate that. Mike H. 9701 wrote, "Hi, Mark. Great Monday morning mailbag. Thank you. Very informative segments throughout, as always. I really enjoyed the Thanksgiving graphics as well. I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving. Take good care and have a nice start to the week. Best regards as always, Mark." And that's from Mike H. Mike, thanks very, very much. I'm so glad you enjoyed the Thanksgiving graphics. A lot of the fun in editing these videos, to me, is adding a lot of the effects, the transitions, and just, kind of editing things and stitching things together. When I'm doing the refill segment, you could probably see some of those edits. As I'm talking, I might fumble through a word, something like that, and I try to start over. A little inside baseball here. I'll try to start over, and then I'll kind of stitch things together. And part of the fun is doing it so it's not so obvious. It's really, to me, it's really a lot of fun. And then there are other times where I just use certain techniques to kind of blend everything together, to kind of make it as seamless as possible and as enjoyable as possible. But adding the cartoons, boy, I really enjoy that. That's a lot of fun. I get a big kick out of that, which is why I add the cartoons at the end of the Monday morning mailbag. And again, I'll mention to you, I was talking to my brother Tom when I first started the Monday morning mailbag, and he said, "Hey, you know what? You ought to wrap up the show with something inspirational, like an inspirational quote." And I thought, wow, that's a great idea. So I think in the early Monday morning mailbags, as I recall, I close out the show with an inspirational quote. And I had a book and some other sources for inspirational quotes. And then it got to the point where I was kind of running out of quotes. I didn't want to repeat myself. And I was talking to my brother Tom, and he said, "Well, Mark, you're a cartoonist. You've got all those comic strips and comic panels. You can use those." And I thought, yeah. And that's how the George comic strip and the double take comic panel were added at the end of the Monday morning mailbag. It's all due to my brother Tom pointing out kind of the obvious. And I don't know why I didn't think of it, but my brother Tom said, "You know what? You should add your comic strip and your comic panel at the end of the show." And that's why it's been added. So that's a lot of fun adding that. So Mike, I'm so glad that you enjoy those times when I do some spiffy editing and add some fun cartoon graphics, and I just enjoy doing that. I enjoy the editing process and stitching everything together. It's a lot of fun. So thanks very, very much for that. Really do appreciate it. James Sefton wrote, "Hey Mark, another great 3MB is in the books, and happy Thanksgiving to you. And the drawing of the turkey reminds me of Granny on the Beverly Hillbillies when she was trying to trap an ostrich she thought was a giant turkey. I think she was drinking some of her rheumatiz medicine." Have a great day and the rest of the week. That's very funny. I don't think I've ever seen that episode of the Beverly Hillbillies in reruns. I'm going to have to look for it. I would take it was a Thanksgiving episode, so it's got to be streaming someplace. So maybe I'll check that out later. Thanksgiving having already happened, but it's probably still out there during the holiday season. So James, thanks very, very much for that. Really do appreciate it. Rod Sloan, 706, all the way from down under, wrote Melbourne. Yep, it's pronounced Melbourne. With no real stress on the U sound in bun, Melbourne. By definition, the schwa sound, as my late mother once explained to me. Great 3MB, Mark. Again, really looking forward to your advent calendar shaves and reviews. Thoroughly enjoyed last year's, and of course, as a result, bought one or two when they popped up for purchase. Hinoki and Sage sticks out here. Brilliant. Just picked up North meets East. Take care, Mark, and have a great week. Yeah, Hinoki and Sage, North meets East, both of those were in last year's advent calendar. And what will we have this year? I'm really looking forward to doing those shaves, the 12 shaves of Christmas. Had a lot of fun with them last year. And again, we mentioned graphics and editing, and I had a lot of fun doing that last year. So hopefully we'll be able to do some of that this year. We'll see. We'll see. I'm really looking forward to sitting down and having those great shaves and opening up the advent calendar and shooting the video, having the shave, and then editing it all together. It's a lot of fun. It really, really is. So Rod, thanks very, very much for that. Really do appreciate it. Keith Osmond wrote, great Monday morning mailbag as usual, Mark. Keith, thank you very, very much. Yes, Parker offers open comb razors. They have a number of non-adjustables, all have the same head and aren't as aggressive as I expected. I find them somewhere between the 78R and the other three-piece closed comb razors, which, with the exception of the 78R, all the ones currently sold in North America use the same head. They also offer an open closed comb razor, and the variant adjustable is also available in an open comb version, which I haven't used. I did not know that. The R41 is a very efficient razor. I agree with you that it isn't as savage a beast as most think. With a really sharp blade, I can get a 2-pass plus touch-ups shave, whereas I need 3 passes plus pickups with every other razor I own. Wow, thanks again for confirming the R41 and how efficient it is. And I'm glad to hear that it works for you. I was not aware that Parker has open comb razors, and I did not know that the variant adjustable also has an open comb version. I did not know that. We'll have to find that on Amazon or on the Parker website, and we'll link it below. So I got to make a mental note to find that link and include it below. That's really, really neat. Thanks so much for the information on that, Keith. Really, really do appreciate it. This comes from B. Dizzle 1985. Happy Thanksgiving, Mark. Parker has a handful of open comb razors, the variant 24C, 26C, and 63C. I'm sure there's more I missed. Well, hey, Bedizzle, thanks very much for confirming. Really do appreciate that. Again, was not aware that the variant has an open comb version. I'm thinking that's probably going to be a little more on the aggressive side because the variant for me, you know what, it adjusts from about 1 to 5 or 6, depending on how you look at that adjustment dial. 3 is getting up there for me. It really is. And of course, I think you could say that I'm a fair-skinned individual. So I'm not going to use a razor that has a lot of aggression. So once again, when I use the R41, I'm really keeping my technique in check. It gives me a great shave, but again, I gotta kind of wash myself. That's why I like razors on the milder side. And especially for a head shave, if you saw this last Friday's video, we did a quick holiday head shave. Check it out. It's not that long. It's like 8 or 9 minutes, something like that. And I use the Supply SE, which for me is a nice, mild, efficient razor. So when I'm using a razor for a head shave, I've learned, because you probably saw some videos of the aftermath where I've had some battle scars from using too aggressive a razor when I first started doing head shaves. I've learned mild razors for head shaves, absolutely. But thanks very much for that, Bedizzle. Really do appreciate it. 10 fluid ounces, 30 minutes writes, what I was describing and also did show by video was the use of the lid liner from a jar of peanuts to fold into a tool for scraping or scooping some soap from its container. Yeah, we were talking about various scoops and that sort of thing, and 10 fluid ounces, 30 minutes had this great tip where you could take a foil lid and, kind of fold it up and get it into a scoop. And sometimes shaving soaps come with that foil lid, that inner foil lid. You can remove that and fold it up and make a nice stiff scoop to scoop out the soap. He continues here, the trick is that some liners can be peeled without tearing and some cannot be peeled off without tearing. Yeah, I would think that's probably what you want. When you peel it off, you probably want to get it off in one piece so it folds nicely, so you can use it as a scoop. It's a great tip. Thanks so much for that. And that wraps up this week's refill segment. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some new wet shaving gear. Well, we mentioned it earlier in the show. Here it is, the Phoenix Shaving Advent Calendar that went on sale on Black Friday, this past Black Friday. Here it is right here. You get 12 doors. Each door is going to have a special shave soap and aftershave splash and a little bit of information about what that offering is for that day's shave. We're going to be doing the 12 Shaves of Christmas again this year. And the reason why I mentioned this is because I was talking to Douglas, and they did make a few extra this time around. So there still might be some available today on Cyber Monday. I can't guarantee it, but we'll have a link to Phoenix Shaving below so you can get up there and see if there are a few of these still left. So if you missed out on visiting the website on Black Friday, they may have a few of these available today, Cyber Monday. Can't promise it, but wanted to mention it in passing. And looking forward to doing the 12 Shaves of Christmas with everyone out there. So again, a Christmas tradition, a Black Friday tradition from Phoenix Shaving, their Advent calendar, 12 Shaves of Christmas. Really looking forward to doing it this year. So stay tuned for that. My thanks to Doug, Fran, Huxley, and everyone at Phoenix Shaving for very kindly sending this one along to the channel and allowing me to share with all the viewers out there. Check it out, Cyber Monday. They might have a few of these left. Can't promise it, but it's worth clicking on the link and taking a look. Well, we have a new review of a shave soap from Greg Pisante. Greg, thanks very much for sending this in. His email reads, 3MB review, House of Mammoth, You and I Will Die. That's the name of the shaving soap, You and I Will Die. And Greg writes, Mark, I finally bit the bullet and got in a full set of House of Mammoths, You and I Will Die. TLDR, it's awesome. First and foremost, this is a treat to lather, as it very quickly and easily produces mounds of thick, rich lather. The scent is a sophisticated floral that reminds me of rose. It's a classic, original, old school scent, and I love it. The tusk base is phenomenal and has a face feel that surpasses Zingari Man. Well, Greg sent Zingari Man to the channel, and I absolutely love the face feel of that one. He's saying that this one is even better. He continues here, it's silky, creamy, and thick. When applied to your face, the first thing that we'll feel is cooling moisture. I cannot explain it, Mark, but trust me when I say this is S-tier shaving soap. The aftercare products are phenomenal as well. The lotion has a pleasant burn with an immediate calming, moisturizing sensation. The aftershave itself makes it even better. Plus, the scent lasts all day. It's wonderful stuff, and Mark, it's something you have to try. I'm telling you, this stuff is God-tier good. Have a blessed Thanksgiving with your loved ones, and I'll catch you on the next 3MB. Greg Pisante. Greg, thanks so much for the absolutely fantastic review of House of Mammoth. You and I Will Die. That's absolutely fantastic. Folks, we will get a link below so you can check it out yourself. Greg absolutely loves it. And of course, from his review, it's spectacular. The tusk base is really phenomenal, as he says. Great face feel. Greg, thanks very, very much for the review. Again, folks, we'll have a link below so you can check it out. Greg, thanks very, very much. Well, the folks at Zomchi sent along another razor for review to the channel. My thanks to them for very kindly sending along the Zomchi Black Safety Razor. Now, as you recall, we reviewed the Zomchi Blue Razor right here. And of course, it had a rather unique razor head in that the base plate wraps around, you can see there, wraps around the cap. So the cap kind of fits into the base plate like that, and the end tabs of a razor blade are enclosed in the razor head. And this delivered a nice shave, mild yet efficient. I would say I described it as being upper mild, approaching mid aggression with this Zomchi Blue Razor, and of course it's got the Zomchi name and logo right there on the cap. Well, the black razor the razor head is more of a traditional razor head in a three-piece razor. It is a three-piece razor. It comes with this nice sleeve right here and a little pull-out tab. And this is what you get. I've opened it up and looked at it, but I have not disassembled it and I have not reviewed it yet. You get 5 Zomchi blades with it. The razor head is packaged together with this little tab here, right here. Let's take that out. Hang on, let me set that down and take that out so you can take a look at it. There it is. Here is the razor head, beautifully plated again. The cap comes off like this, okay? a more traditional styled razor head is what I'm saying here. And of course, if we take this little tab apart here, blade on here is what they're trying to remind the new wet shaver out there. A little bit of instruction on that. And okay, there it is. It comes right off. There he goes. Okay, so there it is right there. There is the base plate right there. Now this base plate, the holes go all the way through, where on the blue razor head, it was more of a solid base plate. And of course the Zomchi name is on the cap there like that. Really nice, beautifully plated, really nicely plated. It's an all metal razor with some really nice plating. It has a nice slender handle here. Okay, let me pull the handle out. Okay, here's the handle here with some nice traditional tight knurling. There is a little bit of a, I guess you could say a little bit of an indentation there on the base plate so that the handle will fit in there very nicely. So I'm not going to use an O-ring with it is what I'm saying. So it goes together like this. And there you go. Very nice. And again, some nice weight to it, some nice heft. Again, a really nice knurling on the handle. Feels great in the hand, a nice slender feel to the handle. Really looking forward to using and reviewing this one. Really just a good looking razor, and it's on sale. Well, they had a Black Friday sale this past Friday. Check it out, see if it's still on sale. I would assume so because it's Cyber Monday. The price was $15.99, which was 22% off the listed price of $20.49. So not a bad razor for $15 or $20. So again, they like to talk about sustainability, zero waste, that sort of thing. That's what they highlight on the razor. And the other thing that is really neat is when you open up the case, it has a little barcode here that you can scan. And when you scan that, let me see, I think I have it here on my phone, just kind of parked and waiting. Yeah, you get an online user manual right there. It'll take you right to their online user manual so you can see them discuss the razor, shaving, that sort of thing. You can click there and go to shaving like that. And then my shaving, metal safety razor, upgraded safety razor, eyebrow razor, dermaplane razor. They have those kinds of things. So you have a lot of different online manuals there from the folks at Zomchi. Really nice feature. So again, all you have to do is scan that little barcode right there, and it'll take you right to the online manual. So a really nice razor from the folks at Zomchi. Again, a more traditional razor head. It looks like, from what I can see online, it looks like this is a razor head that will enclose the end tabs in the razor head, which I think is a big plus for a lot of beginner wet shavers. I know that's what I looked for in a razor when I first started my wet shaving journey. Since then, I'm good with it. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit of exposure, that sort of thing. But if you're someone who is a little more, who's just starting out and you don't want to bother with the end tabs of the razor blade protruding at the ends of the razor head, like some of the vintage Gillettes have, I think this is one that will enclose the end tabs of the razor blade in the razor head. I won't know until I install a blade. You know what? Let me get a blade here. You know what? I'll tell you what. Right now, I'm gonna get a blade for my shave den. We'll install it right now. Hang on. Okay. Well, look at that. I happen to have a Zomchi razor blade from my shave with the blue razor. So this just has one use so far. So let's just set that down there and let's open up this razor head and let's see. Let's see if the end tabs are enclosed in the razor head. Here is the Zomchi blade, and we're going to lay that in there. Fits in there very nicely, the posts and the threaded post. And we're going to set that in there like that. And sure enough, the end tabs are enclosed in the razor head. How about that? And it's, boy, that's threaded very nicely too. Nice and smooth. Look at that. All right, so there it is. Blade balance and alignment appear to be very nice. Looks like there is a little bit of exposure there on the blade, but we won't know until we get into it. I'm anticipating a mild shave with it, but we'll see. But again, the end tabs of the razor blade are enclosed in the razor head. A really, really nice feature. So there you go, a razor at a really, really nice price point. We're going to get a review done on it and tell you more about it during the review. So my thanks to everyone at Zomchi for very kindly sending along the Zomchi Black Razor. We'll have a link below. Thanks again, everyone at Zomchi. Really do appreciate it. This comes from viewer J Tekken X, and he writes, "Hi, Mark. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving." I sure did. Thank you so much. I hope you had a happy and wonderful Thanksgiving as well. I'm still working through the backlog of videos, only 1 year back now. Thanks again for the countless hours of education and entertainment thus far. Where I am at currently, you were talking about the timeless travel razor handle and accompanying stand and how it might help keep your razor off less than ideal bathroom counters when traveling. It reminded me of a product that I use that was originally intended for travel. Toiletries The Mat, and we'll have a link to it below. He continues here. It's a waterproof silicone grooming mat that can be used to maintain hygienic conditions for one's toiletries. It comes with a silicone band that you can use to keep it securely rolled up during travel. I believe it should be small enough to fit into most medium to large size DOP kits, yet large enough to accommodate most lathering bowls and scuttles. I haven't used it for travel yet, but I use it on a daily basis. I simply rinse it with warm water to clean off lather and or toothpaste and let it air dry when needed. Alternatively, I also use a heat-proof silicone mat to protect my counters from my various lather bowls during storage when I'm whipping up a warm lather. This is the heat-resistant silicone mat called iDesign, the Sarah Tano collection, heat-resistant silicone mat for cosmetic drawer organizers in black. There are different sizes available for this heat-resistant mat. I have the large size, but I believe this size is too big for travel. I also rinse and dry it from time to time in the same way as the toiletries mat. Hope this helps someone else. God bless, Jay. Jay, this is absolutely fantastic. Fits in so nicely with the shaving tip we had this morning. Again, a couple of great items, one for travel, one for home. Well, actually, both for travel. Well, actually, both for home. One can be used for home and travel. Absolutely fantastic. So if you're looking for something for your razor, your scuttle, your other toiletries to kind of lay them out onto your counter, or if you want to have something to kind of protect them when you're traveling, check out both of these items. We'll have the links below to where you can find them on Amazon. Jay, thanks again very, very much. Well, viewer J Tekken X also sent along this heads up regarding a Black Friday Cyber Monday sale taking place at Timeless Razor. And he writes, "Hi, Mark. It appears Timeless Razor's usual 10% off Black Friday Cyber Monday sale has started. The discount is automatically applied when items are added to the cart. It appears the sale ends December 3rd at 1 a.m. I am on Central Standard Time. I've attached a screenshot from my shop app for reference. I checked the Timeless Razor website and the discount also applied in the cart, but I don't see any mention of the sale or the end date or time. Can't wait for the next 3MB. Have a good holiday weekend." And that comes from J Tekken X. Jay, thanks very, very much. Of course, we talked about the Timeless Bronze Razor in a recent review. What a great Christmas gift this would make for the wet shaver in your life, because it's a top-end razor and it comes in at a really, really nice price point. Beautiful, mild, efficient shave. Gorgeous stand. I mean, everything about it is just absolutely beautiful. A terrific, terrific razor and a favorite in my shave den for sure. And of course, we showed you the travel razor, stainless steel with its own stand and a really nice short handle with some terrific knurling on it. And of course, they have just a wide range of wonderful razors in a lot of great materials. Here is their titanium razor. I believe this is the 0.95 blade gap on this one with their crown handle. Check that out. That's absolutely beautiful. Love the knurling, love the shape, love the scalloped cap. Yeah, boy, this is a terrific, terrific razor. And again, it's titanium. My thanks to all the guys over there at Timeless Razor for very kindly sending these along to the channel, allowing me to review them and share them with all the viewers out there. They are wonderfully machined, CNC machined, very precisely machined top-end razors. And again, they will make wonderful, wonderful gifts for the wet shaver in your life. And they have a terrific sale going on right now that ends tomorrow, December 3rd. So you still have time to get up there and get one of these wonderful razors and get 10% off. It's really, really terrific. And you know what? Also, check out their scratch and dent area, because that's where I got the handle and the stand. The razor head was very, very kindly sent to the channel by viewer Alex Lopez. And what I did was I happened to meet Doug and Jeremiah from Timeless Razor at the Maggard meetup a couple of years ago. And I told them that I have the razor head and I just needed a handle and a stand for it. And they said, oh, Mark, you can go up to the scratch and dent area and get a really nice looking handle and stand at a reduced price, which is what I did. And look at that. You can't even tell. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, both of them look brand new. So that's how I completed my particular Timeless bronze razor. So you know what? Also check out their scratch and dent area. You might find some really, really nice items up there at a great deal of savings as well. But again, I can't speak highly enough about their bronze razor. It's a nice price point for a top-end, top-shelf, high-end, precisely machined safety razor. It really is a lifetime razor, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, it's definitely a favorite in my shave den. So my thanks to J-Tech and X for very, very kindly passing along the heads up on the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale going on right now at Timeless Razor. It ends tomorrow, folks, December 3rd. So if you want that special razor from Timeless Razor for the wet shaver in your life or for your own shave den, you'll get 10% off. Sale ends tomorrow, December 3rd. My thanks to J-Tech and X again for the heads up on this wonderful sale going on at Timeless Razor. Jay, thanks again very, very much. And that wraps up this week's look at new wet shaving gear. My thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's check out some of these questions and comments. Well, in a previous Monday morning mailbag, we were talking about shave soap scoops, and a lot of viewers were sending in their various scoops that they use to scoop out their shaving soap. Al Spencer sent this along. Here's what I use all the time. Great for corners. Yeah, that's from Hendrix Classics and Company, a kind of a pointed spade, kind of a scoop. Yeah, that looks like that would be great for the corners. I happen to have this one here from the Wet Shave Store. And you can see their logo on it. And I think a lot of different artisans and a lot of other online shaving retailers have a variation on these kinds of scoops. These are terrific. I would think that the Phoenix Shaving guitar pick scoop, because of its pointed end here, that would probably work fairly good to get into corners. Yeah, that's absolutely terrific. But I think that one will probably be better, Al. So thanks very much for sending along that photo. Works great on the corners, folks. So if you're looking for something that will get into those corners, check that one out. Check that shape out. And of course, it's available at Hendrix Classics and Company. Thanks very much for that, Al. Tim Harder sent this along. I enjoyed today's 3MB. The various scoops used are very interesting. I'm attaching a picture of my scoop, which is a baby spoon from Gerber Baby Food Company. This works great, and its small size is perfect. I feel sure these will be found at Goodwill or similar places. I don't recall how I acquired mine. Tim, that is genius. That's absolutely fantastic. a baby food spoon, just the right size for scooping out shave soap. Wow, that is absolutely fantastic. And folks, you might want to look around through your silverware drawer. You might have one of those from when your children were small or when your grandchildren were small, something like that. You might have one just like that laying around the house. And as Tim says, probably can find this at a Goodwill store or a similar thrift store, that sort of thing. So gentlemen, both Tim and Al, thanks very much for sharing your shave soap scoops with all of us. Really do appreciate it. Well, we had some discussion online regarding the Zomchi razor, the Zomchi Blue Razor, and the Parker 78R. And I want to share some of those comments with you. The Inspector 1 commented on the Zomchi Blue Razor and said, "Hi, Mark. This definitely does have some blade feel. Deceptively efficient was my experience." I agree with you. Let me put it this way. It's a 2-pass razor for me. Again, I said that it was upper mild, just approaching mid-aggression. That's kind of how it impressed me. But a really terrific razor at a very, very nice price point and very, very beautifully plated. Let's see here. Wittar 7090 said, "Nice shave, Mark. I recently purchased the Zomchi Blue Razor after watching reviews of it. I was quite impressed with it. Others were also impressed with the Zomchi blades. I am not quite there yet on the blades. I might just need to use them more in the Zomchi and other razors. Have a great weekend." You know what? I agree with you. The Zomchi blades, I've only used them one time. I use it in the Blue Razor. A lot of positive blade feel. But yeah, I'm going to have to continue to use them in other razors, in the Zomchi Blue Razor, in the Zomchi Black Razor that we just talked about, to kind of get a feel for them. Not a bad blade, but yeah, I think I have to use them a little more and see how they perform in some of the other razors that I have in the shave den. But nice that you get anywhere from 5 to 10 blades, depending on what razor you buy. With the Blue Razor, you get I believe you get 10 blades, and with the Black Razor, you get 5 blades. So really nice that they include blades with the razor. Chris Carruthers wrote, "Great shave, Mark. It definitely reminds me a lot of the Parker 78R, which is my daily driver. I love a razor that allows for the razor tabs to be fully enclosed. I'm also a big fan of Sterling soaps and pre-shave. Great stuff. Hope you have a great Friday and great weekend. Take care." Well, Chris, let me show you the Parker 78R next to the Zomchi. I can see where people think the shape of the razor head is very, very similar, but they're a little different in that the Parker 78R is kind of a classic 3-piece razor, where the razor head, I call it a classic 3-piece razor head, so to speak. Whereas the Zomchi, you can see that the base plate kind of covers the cap. You can see right there, as we discussed earlier in the show. So yeah, I can see where when you look at them like this, the shape of the head, very, very similar at first glance to the Parker 78R. So yeah, but again, the base plate on the Zomchi Blue Razor kind of wraps around the cap where the Parker 78R does not. So thanks very much for that, Chris. Really do appreciate it. Beth Jones said, "Great shave, Mark. Zomchi razor is beautiful." And I agree with another poster who said, "It reminds me of the Parker 78R. Have a nice weekend." Again, Beth, you're absolutely correct. It looks so similar when you first look at them. But again, the way the base plate wraps around the cap of the Zomchi Blue Razor, that's where the difference is. But the shape of the razor head, very, very similar. Very, very similar. And again, both of these razors enclose the end tabs in the razor head. So that is really, really a nice feature. I enjoy that. I enjoy that quality of a razor. Some of the vintage Gillette razors, almost all the vintage Gillette razors, have a little bit of end tab exposed. And that's not a deal breaker for me. But when a razor has the end tabs enclosed or very, very nearly enclosed, to me, that's a big plus. I really like that, especially when I was just starting out with a safety razor. The Vikings blade Chieftain, the original Chieftain, enclosed the end tabs in its twist to open razor head. And I really appreciated that because that was one less thing for me to worry about. Having that end tab maybe catch an earlobe or underneath the nostril while I was learning proper technique, that sort of thing. So yeah, the Parker 78R encloses the end tabs in the razor head, as does the Zomchi Blue Razor. And again, as Beth pointed out, very, very similar shape. Little different design though, both terrific, terrific razors. And that's kind of an overview of the Zomchi Blue Razor and the Parker 78R. Thanks to everyone who commented. Really do appreciate it. I received this from 10 Fluid Ounces 30 Minutes regarding the Ascension razor and how to adjust it. And he writes, that Ascension razor, so how do you know what setting you put it on? That's a very, very good question. And the Ascension razor is a double open comb twist adjustable razor. Now, when the razor blade is in the razor head, it provides tension so that you can twist open the handle and open up that blade gap a little bit and make the shave more aggressive or more mild, depending on what you want. Now, with the O-ring that is installed, let me take off the handle here. You can see that I've got the buffer ring right there on the bottom, okay? And again, the blade is in there, so I have to be careful in handling it. Now, it's snugged all the way up, so that is at its mildest setting. Now, from the directions that I've read, a quarter turn will open up the blade gap fully. You may get a little more than a quarter of a turn, but the general rule of thumb is a quarter of a turn is at maximum aggression level, or the widest point of the blade gap that you can open it, to where the razor head is still stable with the razor blade in there applying tension to keep everything stable. That's how it works right now. So I looked at it like I would the face of a clock. Noon, quarter after, half after, quarter till. That's kind of how I divide the handle into quarters. That's how I look at it. So when I'm holding the razor like this and my thumb is facing me, I know that that's kind of my 0 point. And just by turning from the facing me down to where now my thumb is pointing towards the bottom, that's a quarter of a turn. That's a quarter of a turn. So I know that's at that point it's at its widest blade gap opening suggested by Phoenix Shaving, to where the razor head will still remain stable. Anything past that, you may want to experiment with a little bit, but general rule of thumb is a quarter of a turn. So coming all the way back up to the starting point, you can see now it is at its mildest setting when it's all snugged up. Again, if you want to do it another way, just put your thumb on top, and then when you give it a turn, when your thumb is facing you now, okay, now again, that's a quarter of a turn. And let me show you, if I start with my thumb on top, okay, and I give it a quarter of a turn facing me, okay, that's a quarter of a turn. Now, if I go all the way down to the bottom, that's a half turn, all right? So that's how I calibrate it. So a half turn is really open, and that's really opening up. That's why a quarter of a turn right there with the thumb facing me. Again, starting here at the 0 point with my thumb on top, my thumbnail facing upward. When I turn it and the thumbnail faces me, that's a quarter of a turn. If I go beyond that all the way to where the thumbnail is down, that's a full half turn, not a quarter of a turn. That's how I'm gauging it. But that's how I divide that's how I divide up the razor handle, so I know I'm making a quarter turn. So then I simply just calculate anywhere between the 0 point to the full quarter of a turn, and that will tell me kind of where I'm at, whether I'm at an eighth of a turn, maybe a 16th of a turn, something like that. Now, it's not going to be precise from shave to shave, but that's part of the fun of using this twist adjustable razor, in that it kind of makes it a shaving journey with each shave. If you find that there isn't enough aggression, well, then you can just turn a little more to open it up a little more. If you find that it's too much aggression, then you can just turn it down to close it off. that's the way I use this razor. But my general rule of thumb is if I've got 2 or 3 days worth of beard growth, I go, like with my thumb facing me, I go all the way down where my thumb is now pointing towards the ground. That's a full quarter turn, and I start my shave. After that first pass, I snug it back up, and now I'll give it I'll go halfway. Okay, so I know that's the halfway point between 0 and a quarter turn. And then maybe on the third pass, maybe I give it just a little bit of a turn. That might be a 16th or so. That's how I adjust the Phoenix Shaving Ascension razor. And these are terrific, terrific razors. I love using them. Again, kind of a unique adjustable razor, but a lot of fun to use when you have it in the shave den. Again, you're not going to repeat the exact blade gap from shave to shave as you would with an adjustable razor that has a numbered dial. So you'll know that, first pass is 3, second pass is going to be 2.5, third pass might be 2, first pass might be 4, then maybe 3, 3.5, then the last pass will be 1.5, that sort of thing. But I have found that from adjustable razor to adjustable razor, my general rule of thumb is don't go above halfway. So if I have a razor that adjusts from 1 to 9, I won't go above 5. 5 is probably the max on there. If it's adjust from 1 to 6, 3 is the max for me. That's my general rule of thumb. But still, my settings, even with adjustable razors that have a numbered dial, vary from shave to shave because I don't recall specifically what my shave was last time I used it. I may be using different settings, the second or third time I use that particular adjustable razor. That's kind of the way I look at it. But if you have maybe only 1 or 2 adjustable razors, then you're going to be more inclined to remember what those settings are from shave to shave. If you have a number of adjustable razors, well, when you put them back in your rotation, you're going to kind of relearn where those settings are. And that's kind of what we're doing here with the Ascension razor. Each shave, we kind of relearn where it is from shave to shave, but that's part of the fun. It's a shaving adventure. And I really, really love the Ascension razors. Again, even with a quarter of a turn, it's not overly aggressive for me. And again, you can play around with it with that O-ring there. You can give it a quarter of a turn and maybe go a little bit beyond that. Yeah, I just went beyond that quarter of a turn, and that's opening up a little more. And boy, that razor head is still very, very stable in there. Again, I don't suggest doing that. You might want to give it a try, but be careful. I think the maximum turn on this with an O-ring is a quarter of a turn. And that's how I measure my quarter of a turn. Once more, with my thumb facing me like this, I just give it a turn. And when I know that the thumbnail is towards the ground, I know that's a quarter of a turn. That's how I do it. And let me know how you do it. If you own an Ascension razor, whether it's the Ascension Select, the stainless steel version, the copper version, or the aluminum version, let me know how you adjust and mark your Ascension razor for adjusting. That's how I mark mine. Let me know how you mark yours. 10 fluid ounces. I hope that helps you. And I hope you pick up an Ascension razor if you don't already have one. These are really, really terrific, terrific razors. Love them a lot. We'll have a link below to where the Ascension razors are located on Phoenix Shaving's website. Sometimes they're available, sometimes they're not. Get on their email list, their email alert list, so you'll be alerted when the various Ascension razors are back in stock. 10 fluid ounces, 30 minutes. Thanks very much for the question. Really do appreciate it. And that wraps up another Monday Morning Mailbag. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below. Let me know. Check out all the wonderful artisan soap makers and sellers that you see displayed on the bottom of the screen right now. They make and offer some wonderful artisan shave soap. They also offer some wonderful wet shaving gear to enhance your traditional wet shave. The next time you're online, please take a moment, pay them a visit. I sure would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Also, check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/Mark Zarady where you'll find all the Amazon listed products that I review in this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Hey, we have another double take cartoon puzzle this week. Try to find the differences between the two cartoon panels. If you need more time, just pause the video, or try to find all the differences before time runs out. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.